A lot of offense through Rob at the end there, getting downhill. You don't see a ton of like pick and roll to Rob downhill. So what did you see with Chicago's defense that made that the plan tonight?
Advantageous matchup with their center. We liked him in actions. They were switching a lot of guard to guard, and obviously Rob being a rim threat and him struggling somewhat and to defend the rollers behind him. We knew that was something we could take advantage of. And as they started reading and we got too stagnant, we wanted to get more movement playing through him at the top, and then obviously the pick and rolls and letting him go DHO and getting guys downhill that way worked out for us.
He's grabbing ridiculous alley-oops a couple times a night. Has his just ability to get anything anywhere changed the way you guys attack the rim?
Yeah, it does for sure, especially against certain players that don't defend it as well. And so we knew we could get downhill. We had a good amount of points in the paint, 58 overall. But even in the first half, we were, I think the first quarter, 24 of our 32 were in the paint. So we wanted to attack all night. And obviously he's a rim threat, missed some, got some. Those are some tough connections at times with some of the passes, but he was huge for us, obviously, not just that, making the free throws and then getting stops and guarding on the perimeter as well.
Ime, it seemed like in the fourth quarter you were defending as well as you could, and they were still hitting tough shots. I mean, Vucevic hits that line drive, 21-footer with like a second left.
Yeah.
How did you keep the guys encouraged that they could rally? Because it just seemed like, here we go again. It's one of those nights where the other team is just hitting anything.
Yeah, it was because they were hitting some tough shots. We had mixed it up on DeRozan. He had 23 only, but felt like he really got it going in the second half. I think him and Vucevic only had 9 at halftime. Kobe White was leading with 13. So those two got to go in the second half and wanted to mix it up because obviously DeMar is seeing all the coverages. And so we were mixing up some blitzes at times and switching and then hitting him late and just trying to get the ball out of his hands. But at some point, we really wanted to be aggressive with him, but he was also making tough contested shots. And so, you tip your cap to him for a minute, but then you got to obviously get out of his hands and be more aggressive. So with us, it was like we were getting downhill, getting some decent shots, and we were like, if we continue to guard the way we are, we can, get some stops and limit them to one shot. And so we believed in that. And then when we got down 6, I think, with a few minutes to go, it was time to buckle in, and we got stops when we needed to.
What went into Tatum guarding him in the last few possessions?
Size mostly, and then when we decided to switch or blitz him, we liked that size on him, switching the size onto Vucevic, and then bringing more size up onto him. So that was mostly it. Josh, good defender, but he was using his body to get to the spots he wanted on him. So we liked the size there, and then trust him just to deny him, without getting back cut or, getting scored on easily. But Jason did a hell of a job denying him, really face guarding him, and making them play 4-on-4.
I know probably in the NBA when you played, there were guys, the stars, that said, "Hey, let me guard this guy if the guy gets hot." Did Jason say that to you, or does that happen much anymore? Or did you just kind of tell Jason when you're switching, you're going DeRozan?
Yeah, we finally went to it at the end, with 4 minutes to go. But yeah, we were switching a lot, so everybody kind of had their turn on him, and we had size, and other than Dennis from a size perspective, we didn't love that matchup, but everything else we had our good guards on him, and he was hitting some tough shots. So guys do want to take the challenge at times, and I thought once I told him to get up and deny and really take the ball away from him, Jason did a hell of a job there, not letting him get it back. And so, credit us when we needed to. We got stops at the end and then converted some big baskets, but we've been in a lot of end-of-game situations. It feels like we're improving overall from all the games we've been in so far.
Go to John Corrales.
Ime, just the feeling of closing this out and having a game where this was following a very similar script to the first Chicago game, and to have that finish. What's it like? What's that feeling like as far as, hey, maybe you actually accomplished something there at the end of the fourth quarter, which hasn't been happening.
Yeah, we obviously this in the Indiana game, the overtime game a few games ago, felt like we've executed better at the end, gotten stops when we had to. But the difference between this and the first Chicago, we didn't score down the stretch and kind of went on a dry spell, and they gave a big lead. Here we have 2 30-point quarters to end, so we were scoring fine. It was just a matter of getting stops, and I think mixing it up at times gave them a little different look and kept them off balance some instead of just giving DeRozan those ISOs that he likes. So, we've been in a lot of tough games like this, and the guys are growing from it, and you can see start to figure out what we want to do at the end of games, the shots we want to get, and to credit our guys. They got down a little bit, never hung their heads, continued to fight, and dug their way back out of it.
Adam Himmelsbach.
Ime, so much is made about Jason and Jalen getting more help and assistance, and neither of them really had dominant offensive games tonight, but there were like stretches where other guys really had their runs. Like Al had that 8-point stretch. Dennis had a good start. Josh had that stretch in the third. Like, what did it mean to like look up and see these other guys kind of contributing these important pockets of the game?
It's huge. They shoulder so much of the load, and on both ends of the court, especially when you got a guy like DeRozan that they're defending as well. So to see all these, guys in double figures contributing is needed. It's obviously a welcome sight, and guys were playing well. Like I said, it wasn't a scoring problem. Obviously, we got 114, but it was some stops at a time, and I felt we buckled down and found the right unit in there to finish the game. But it's great to see everybody contribute. Josh off the bench as well. Peyton comes in ready to go, and so with guys being out, other guys step up and contribute. And I think when we have this balance, we're a much harder team to defend.
Ime, just thoughts on the start today. I think Bulls started 7-2, but you guys finished the first quarter especially really strong.
I missed
Oh,
the
sorry.
numbers you said.
Thoughts on the start in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we're solid, obviously 32-22 that quarter. We came out with some good energy, much better than the other night. We talked about getting off to a good start. Then there was a little bit of a lull in the middle, where we had some turnovers and some tough shots. I think the second quarter was a little more stagnant than the first. So we got back to that in the second half. But, like I said, 3 30-point quarters. So the ball is moving for the most part, other than that second quarter. And, you look up with 27 assists and some of the shots and that we passed up to get great shots. That's what really got us back in the game, especially in the fourth quarter.
Thanks.
Go back to John Corrales.
Defensively, it seemed like you guys were sending two to the ball, and there were just no rotations behind that for most of the night. What was happening? There were a lot of open kickouts. There were a lot of, by the time the ball was passed twice, even they were getting a lot of open shots. What was happening there?
Times it was really DeRozan, especially the third and fourth quarter when he got it going a little bit. I felt we over-rotated on Vucevic a few times in the first half, him in the post. We like our matchup there, and we want to dig and show him bodies. But if guys do feel they need to make a play, the second rotation has to be there. And I felt we were a little slow there. I think Kobe White got 3 kick-out threes in the first half, so not as sharp as we needed to be as far as that. But then we talked about it at halftime and make him score in the post and stay locked up to their shooters. And so did a better job there. He got it going a little bit, but we held White and some of those guys down to, I think, only 6 points in the second half. So a little bit of miscommunication there, but tightened it up at the end when we needed to. Obviously got out of DeRozan's hands, and the rotations were okay at best there, but got it out of the main guy's hands that we wanted to.
Final question from Keith Smith.
Hey, Coach, you had said before the game that last night was the least efficient passing and ball movement you've had. Tonight, it seemed like the main guys really had the ball moving around. Is that more what you saw, and is that something you're really just trying to push them to continue to do?
Yeah, it's been the message all year, and I think we're a different team, as you can see with the numbers and the balance when we do that. And Jason and Jalen are trying and doing a great job at it. And so the message was, let's play more like Indiana than Philadelphia. That was the message tonight, and I think you saw that from the start. Guys trying to make the right play. They are the team that takes it out of Jason and Jalen's hands at times with their bigs and smalls. They made the right pass and let the teammates make the plays behind it. So trusting their guys, doing what they've been doing all year, scoring as well as playmaking, getting everybody else involved was huge tonight with the balance we had.
We'll wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.